Hey guys, welcome to this happy Sunday. Happy Sunday to everyone here today. Welcome everyone to leg 13 of 14 of our trip for Berlin to Beijing. And we are here at Zulu Hotel Alpha Alpha, located in the heart of downtown Harbin, China, the Ice City. And this one's going to be a pretty good journey here today. This is going to be a good journey here today, so I'm pretty excited for what this route's going to take us. So before we get into the chat, good to see you, Night Zep. Night Zep says hello. We're doing leg 12B. Good to have you here. We have Alec D 129. Good to see you as well. It's been a while since I've last seen you. So this is going to be leg number 13. So today's route is going to actually go through Little Nep. So we're going through our journey here today. So first we'll take off from Zulu Hotel Alpha Alpha. We will continue to follow the railroad. We get to continue to do that. We follow the straight line. We will fly over the city of Chun, and then we'll be going all the way to through the railroad, keep following it until we head to Shenyang Gongta Airport, located in downtown Shenyang, one of the largest industrial centers in northern China. So, like I said, it's actually relatively going to be in a straight line, and this is the shortest of all the China legs at 269 nautical miles. So, the plane we're going to take today is going to be the Yonkers, is obvious. Hey, K-Warts, good to have you here. It's good to have you here, K-Wart. Nice to have you here. Thank you for coming along. So we're going to fly the Yonkers. Now, so a bit of recap. So I set the weather to the Topography summer in Dublin, since the weather is kind of fair and with good visibility. The reason was because originally, um, they first attempted to take off in a rain dense fog, but however, the issue was the fog was so thick they had to turn around back to the airport because the fog was so bad. So they could have risen above the fog 3,000 meters and flew to Mukden by compass, but they had no news of the weather. So the reason was Nas explains during that flight, the original, that they could have risen above the fog at 3,000 meters and fly to Shenyang by compass, but since they had no news of the weather conditions there, they feared the airport there would also be in dense fog, prevented from landing. They were also forbidden to have a radio on board, and radio navigation was at its infancy back in the day, so they had to return back to the airport, and they had a tropical downpour on the streets of Harbin. So as a result, they had to stay in there for the next day on August 29th. Thankfully, though, the weather is much better, as it's actually fair and it has really good visibility. So that's why I set it to the two-tone Murphy weather preset. So that's going to bring us to our airport. Yeah, the Yonkers semi-Lorcan catching up. No worries. It's good to have you here, Martel172. And DH Paradox is here too. Well, we get back to on D903. Yeah, the water looks great. This is the two. Get this. Yeah, it's in the Two-Tone Murphy, the Irish edition, summer in Dublin. So Going to be quite a nice weather condition. Let's go over the checklist again. Let's complete our checklist. Battery on. Power levers on idle. Oil and fuel. Parking brake has been set. We don't need the pipe heater. Worked. Both. We need to check our fuel quantity. We can go 75% today. We don't really need that much fuel. Taxi. Now we turn on master starter. Primer, nebulizer, and injection fuel valve check. We open the fuel wobble pump. You landed in Kamloops last night and you were snow drifting in the runway. Ooh, that's an interesting landing. Usually landing in the snow. That's always a bit of a tricky landing sometimes, landing in the snow. I'm actually starting both engines 1 and 3 together. Engine 1's already been started, so we can close the wobble pump. Now we start with engine number 2. Fuel pump. Okay, we can do this. Fuel pump disabled. And then we can just turn off the shock valve and the primer, and we'll be. That's the engine. That's starts. Taxi lights are on, but I don't think. Okay, that's on. Yeah, the engine nose is on. And everything is good. Yeah, engine nose. Yeah, engine 2's on the nose. That's correct, DH Paradox. Engines 1 and 3 are the left and right engines respectively, and the middle is always it's always been the. Well, the middle engines have always been on the right. So we're going to take off. Yeah, we're going to take off at 2-1 left. I see Alec deep green, the twin otter. That's a good. Yeah, if this was a lot of the bush, the small bush strips, yeah, that would be a great one to take. Let's go ahead and get this back in the airport. So let's go ahead and take off for a bit. The safe altitude for this trip should be 2,500 feet. 2,500 feet should be our safe altitude for the journey. So that would be, we can get at least between 2,000 and 2,500 feet. This should be our safe altitude. And the heading is 217 degrees. So let's go ahead and take this plane off. We're going to go ahead and put 1-stage flaps. Trim. Could you fly with the plane with only engine number 2, you may ask? That's actually a pretty good question there, PH Paradox. That actually is an interesting question. I don't think I've ever simulated that in the sim. Ever simulated flying like that. Let me go ahead and check. Let's see if this is possible. Boom, boom. Mixture's now down. Now, I think it could, but you're not going to break any speed records in the Younger. No, I don't think I can fly with the 2 engines. No. Yeah, it probably couldn't take off. But here's the thing, though. You can actually disable the 2nd engine and still use the other 2 outside engines. It wouldn't be very fast, but you could very well do that. So, let me go ahead and reset the trim. So, fly with me today is Alec D in the Twin Otter. And Martel 738 in the Piper Turbo Arrow. I still need to get the Turbo Arrow at some point. It's quite a popular plane, so I'm really interested in seeing how it goes. Doing pretty well. So I hope you guys have currently had a good weekend so far. Things are going well for you. What I've been doing all weekend is I've been doing the Topography landing challenges. Because that's what I've been doing all weekend, was trying to get the highest score I can in all those landing challenges. You're entertaining me for a while for the work. Yep. No worries, DH. But that's what I've been doing for this entire weekend, has been doing these lane challenges. So, the reason I do these lane challenges is because, if you actually win one of the landing challenges, you get 12 months captain membership, which is the premium membership of the Flight Sim Association. And if you're in a free entry to the Flight Sim Expo, so you get to register for free there. The date is to be confirmed, and then if there's the overall winner, which I'm trying to get, I get a lifetime membership to the Flight Sim Association of the Captain's membership, free registration to FSE 2022, any item from the store, and a two-tone stainless steel water bottle. So that's the one I'm trying to earn. Hey friends, all good to have you here. Join late, no worries. Hey, no worries, friends all. No worries, man. You're doing quite well with the screenshot challenge. Yeah, I've been I'm doing well with all the challenges. I'm always good with these challenges. In the landing challenges, I actually managed to take 4 of the 5 landing challenges. Currently in 4 of the 5 landing challenges, including landing challenge number 2 when I try to land the 747 at Burr. Wow, those are great prizes. Yeah, and I'm very optimistic about me getting that challenge because, like I said, I'm doing really well in those challenges, and I really wanted to actually participate. I've always been good with the challenges. I've already won one of the screenshots, so I'm going to continue to work my best on these challenges to make sure we're going through. So, I think we can go ahead and get a little started today and talk about the first part of my my topic, and that is going to be the geography of China. Now, this is something for those who are new to my channel. These journeys, I actually do different topics and stuff about like, geography and all that sort of stuff. And that way, it's to break down the stream to make it somewhat less boring. Plus, and besides, with all the scenery not being exactly the most mountainous, this is kind of my way of doing it. So, this is the geography of China. Now, like Russia, China's geography is extremely diverse, like Russia's, but probably even more so due to China not always being so cold. As a result, China's physical diversity is extremely great compared to a lot of other places. Or topography. For example, in the west, you have Tibet in the mountains. The southwest, the north, it's got like deserts, like you got all the deserts up there, and then the East China Plains to the east and south. These are all the Chinese plains. So you have an extremely rich geography, and I'm going to break it down to quite a few fields: topography, rivers, body of water, geology, or natural resources, wildlife, human geography, and climate. For the first part, we're going to talk about topography, and we're going to talk about that perfect. So first, we got the topography of China, or the physical geography. Now, the physical geography of China is been divided by the Chinese government to five physical macro regions, mainly Eastern China, which is subdivided by 3 other categories: the Northeast Plain, North Plain in the Southern Hills, then Xinjiang in Mongolia, and the Tibetan Highlands are all the 5 macro regions. And those 5 regions are extremely diverse, like I said. Snow-capped mountains, deep river valleys, broad basins, high plateaus, rolling plains, terraced hills, sandy dunes, and way more, giving China an extremely diverse geography, thanks to its size. In general, in the west, there's been a lot more mountains high west and descends to the east coast. And most of the country's land surface is split between mountains, plateaus, and hills. Those things account for 70% of the land resource. However, despite all that, most of the arable land and population is within the lowland plains, and that's only 12% of the land mass. Which is weird because China's population is more to the east. Hey, Einfach Ungisch. Good to see you, Einfach. It's great to have you here. Thank you for coming along with the trip. I really appreciate it. This is my geography lesson. So, now when we get to the most interesting part, let's talk about the first part, Eastern China. So, this is a bit of a summary of Eastern China's topography. Now, it's split between 3, like I said, the Northeast Plain, the North Plain, and the South. So let's start with the Northeast Plain first. So, in the Northeast Plain of China, it's located in the Shanghai River, and that is the Shenyang River, which is a silver flat of coastline that opens up to the vast northeast China plain, which is where we're at right now. And these plains extend to the crown of the Chinese rooster, which is a term of landmark that consists where the greater and lesser Higan ranges of the mountains converge, and eventually through the east divide China from the Korean Peninsula. So let's go back to my nav map for a bit, and let me show you guys what I'm talking about. Let me pull up my nav. So the mountain range we're talking about right here is right over here. This right here is where the North Chinese Plain is located, right here. You see, the mountains is what divides this part of China from the Korean Peninsula. Now, believe it or not, in the Northeast Plain, despite the fact, compared with the rest of China, like all around the Northeast Plain, most people actually live in the Northeast Plain, and that's because the climate here is actually adequate, and the topography works to the favor of the people of China. So there's that part of China. Now the North Plain. Now, the North Plain is located in the Taihang mountain range, and they form the western side of the North Chinese Plain. So, that is located right here. There is the Taihang Mountains over here, and those form the North Plain of China. And they are what form the western bounds of the North China Plain. The other two sides are the Pacific coast to the east, and the southwest is China's longest river, the Shangjing River, or the Yangtze River. They're more Romanized. And of course, up to the north tip of that China Plain is right here in Beijing. This is where we're ending our journey, by the way. And apparently built there was the Great Wall of China. Finally, the south. This is located east of the Tibetan Plateau, and the deeply folded mountains fan out towards the Sichuan Plain, which is located right here. This right here is the Sichuan Plain. So that's where it's located. There's the Sichuan Plain right over here. That's where those mountains kind of lie. Is simply clumsy. Oh, I didn't know that. I thought means simply clumsy. Oh, I didn't know about that. But thank you for pointing that out. So clumsy. Good to see you here. Sorry about that. I didn't even realize it. I probably need to get a translator or something. But like I said, east of it is the Sichuan Mountains, and they got some really cool areas. And this is home to quite a few of the provinces like Hunan and Jiangxi. Live around this area. And that is one part of it. Then we go to the next part. Now, the Xinjiang Mongolia topography. Now this part is really cool because northwest of that plateau, one of the largest basin in China, the Tar Basin, measures around 930 from east to west and from north to south. It transcends in Xinjiang. And that basin's located up here. It's this huge plain right here. This is the plateau. This is the whole plateau. It's the largest in all of China, right here in Xinjiang. And northeast to the plateau is another set of mountain ranges, the Altanshan mountain range, located in Xinjiang, right over here. All that mountain range. located. So overall, there is just quite a bit about China's geography that a lot of people don't really notice too much. There's also, between the two, is the lowest plateau, and that's within Mongolia, and it's the largest of its kind in the world. And it's located in the Shenyang Sea region, China. And then finally, the last part of this topic for part 1 is the Tibetan Highlands topography of the Tibetan Highlands, which we know is located in Tibet. And it's this whole mountain area right here. All of this is Tibetan mountain range. All of this is Tibet. And some of the tallest mountains of the world are from here. The Himalayas, the Karakoram, the Pamirs, and the Tian Shan mountain ranges divide China from South and Central Asia. 11 of the 17 tallest mountain peaks on the planet are located on China's western borders, including the world-famous Mount Everest, which is the Earth's highest mountain above sea level in the Himalayas. This world's second tallest peak, K2, from its border with Pakistan. And north of the Himalayas is the Tibetan Plateau, the largest and highest plateau on the entire planet, known as the roof of the world. And the plateau currently has an average elevation of 4,000 meters above sea level. And they cover about 2.5 square kilometers, or 1/5 of China's entire landmass, which is just huge. And this all right here is this is the Tibetan Plateau right here. Well, this is the Tibetan Plateau for all you guys who are. That's why if you notice some airports in China, a lot of the airports here have extremely high altitudes. Here's some of these airports right here, 14,000 feet. There's a Gongar Airport, 11,000 feet. This one's 12,000. That's because, like I said, that plateau is really, really high up there. It's pretty crazy to think about. It's huge. So that is going to be part 1 of the topic. So there we go. Let's pull back into Nano. Let's see who's flying with us. There's Martel, Alec D, and 9 steps further ahead in the Yonkers. It's good. It's good to have everyone here. Yeah, I'm very happy to be here today. I'm happy to finally break the 300 followers mark. I did that Sunday. I want to thank Flying Fabio for this. He helped me get to 300 followers. It's pretty insane to him. And mind you, this is just the beginning of March. Early January, I was like 193, and now I'm already over 300. Wow, it's been a crazy year so far for the channel. It's grown so much. As well as mine would be headstand. I'll have to try out these Chinese airports, see how I take off the Cessna 152. That would be quite interesting. Now, if you guys like this content, hold on one second. I need to actually do the Twitch thing. Hold on one second. It always keeps me it tells me to keep verifying. That's so annoying. There. Sorry about that. If you guys like this content, do check out my Discord. I do have a Discord. And I also do have my VODs in the other platform. If you guys are so keen to want to go check out my previous VODs. I mean, I don't ask much. Just, if you like what you see, don't be afraid to follow. Let's get back to our route. But yeah, we're about almost the end of our journey. It's pretty crazy. We're almost at the... This is the second last leg of the journey. It's insane. I probably should have taken off. So yeah, don't be afraid to check out, like I said earlier, don't be afraid to click the link to the Discord, come visit it as well, if you feel like you're inclined to it, alright? So, yeah, there's been quite a few things going on. So earlier this week we had the Beechcraft Model 17 Staggerwing coming out. That is their first famous flyer from a solo worked on by Carinado. Now in real life that plane is absolutely stunning. It's a very stunning plane. Definitely real life a beautiful plane. I'm curious to see what it is for the 15 bucks. Splasher 6, good to have you here. Splasher 6. Splasher 6, really awesome guy for the channel. Huge supporter. I gotta give you a shout out, man. So, yep, it is a good day. We're headed our way into Shenyang. We're going to... So that's what we've been doing today. Just a pretty nice flight over China. We have Count Zepp ahead of us, and then behind me is Alec D and Martel with us as well. Do we know what became of the infamous The Gorgeous Dam? The Gorgeous Dam, the Three Gorges Dam has been built, actually. Three Gorges Dam is located at the Yangtze River. It's by the Hubei province. It took them 203 billion yen. Renminbi? Actually, yeah, it takes 2.3 renminbi. RMB. It's actually, it's the yuan, or 30.76 billion US dollars. I mean, they had to build the river because that river has had a lot of flooding historically. The Yangtze Plate has always been historically been a huge problem with floods. If you ever write up about that. What city is this thing? Three Gorges. It's in the Hubei province, but the city, it's located in a place called Sandauping, located in the Yiling district of the province of Hubei. Hey, CIA Cowboy, good to have you here, Cowboy. I thought you'd get caught up today. Turns out you're actually here on my stream. Good to have you here, CIA Cowboy. Good to see you here. It's good to have you here. I hope you're doing well. I checked on your stream last night. And I gotta say, that Kit Fox, like I said, is an amazing bush plane. I'm very glad you took it for a spin. That plane is probably one of the very best little bush planes you can get. Pray for peace everywhere. Pray for peace, people. Yeah, pray for peace, people everywhere. Yeah, let's hope for peace as well. I'm on my way to church, but I had to say hello. No worries. I hope things at church go well for you. Yeah, the water looks really, really awesome out here. Just so beautiful out here. It looks like we're flying. This is the Songhua River, actually. We're flying over now. So that looks like to be the Songhua River. One of the primary rivers in all of China, and it's actually the longest tributary of the Amur River, the 10th largest river. So there's the Songhua River. Now, an interesting tidbit about the river, this is, in 2005, the chemical plant in Jilin exploded. There was a serious explosion that happened in the Jilin chemical plant, and it led to the river being contaminated with benzene, and it shut down the water supply to Harbin, which is what the river's continuing forth as well. And they had to actually remove all the benzene out of the river. Hey, Kaharia, good to have you here, Kaharia. Good to talk to you, Kaharia. I hope you're having a great day. I hope you had a great stream last night. I'm sorry I didn't really catch your stream last night. You were flying to the Amazons, I believe. Lots of biodiversity in the Amazons. It's pretty crazy. I mean, if it's one good news about these less flat terrain, at least this is going to be a nice, peaceful flight, and I don't have to worry about sudden elevation change. Just keep it nice and smooth. You look a bit tired, Viperstrike. I'm doing fine. I seem a bit tired because I've been doing those lane challenges all night. The Topography lane challenges. I was doing lane challenge number 2, and I was doing the 747 landing at Burr Airport. So I did all those attempts. I finally got a landing that actually beat the previous person who had the record. And I got like 1,507,000 points, which is way more than the previous 1.3 million. Yeah, thanks. I also woke up a little early, so. But yeah, with that, I now lead 4 of the 5 lane challenges. The only one I did lead was the first challenge, and I was just 2,000 points off of Catbat. So, as long as I'm literally ahead of everyone else, I'm not really that worried. We're around 60 nautical miles away from our first waypoint, Changchun. Changchun would be our first waypoint for today's trip. Just wanted to do this thing peacefully. Try to keep it around 120 to 130. Viperstrike is the Chuck Norris of these lane challenges. I know. I won the first John Murphy lane challenge at Notre Dame de la Salle. I don't know how many countless attempts I've done to win that challenge. And now I'm looking like to be 4 of the 5 lane challenge. Pretty insane. Unless anyone else can do it, I mean, I hope everyone else does their best. Trust me, some of those lane challenges are not easy. The 747 one landing in Burr is extremely difficult. I would be really curious to see about that. So let's get back outside. Check out the scenery. There's Martel. I wonder if some of you guys actually went #22. It's Martel here. Oh, there's Count Zepp. There's Count Zepp below me, actually. Try it with A and 2. Okay, it was hard enough with it's hard enough with the 747. It's another thing with the Antonov. If you guys haven't known, the Antonov makes the 747 look like a GA plane. The N225 is enormous. Greetings, Seamus McNeil, guys. If you haven't checked out my good friend Seamus, if you guys haven't checked out my good friend Seamus McNeil, he is a really awesome simulator guy. He does all the bus train simulators, and he's also really awesome. He even knows how to fly the helicopters too. But mainly, train and bus sims are his domain, and he's a really chill and entertaining guy. So, guys, please check out Seamus. So yeah, Seamus. We're in China. I have Knights up here and Martell's fur in the back. But we're flying to Shenyang, China today for our 13th out of 14th leg. Yes, this is the second to final leg of the journey. So it's great to have you guys here. But no, it's great to have you here, Seamus. Thank you so much. No worries, Seamus. I'm happy you finally get back on your streams again. Just do some stretch. Yeah, this Yonkers has been through everything, Seamus. It's been through the rainy nights in Germany, the terrible winds and fogs throughout some of the Russian Siberia. So this plane's gone through everything. This thing's gonna need some TLC before I take this thing back in the air again. Is this plane free from standard version? It is not free from standard version. However, you can get this on the MSFS Marketplace Humber for 15 US bucks on the MSFS Marketplace. It also included this. It also comes with a floats variant, a ski variant, and a modernized retrofit variant of the Yonkers for 15 bucks, and it's really, really good. I think it's the best Asobo made plane in the sim. It's really good, Humber. So yeah, it's from the MSFS Marketplace. It is not free with standard edition. I think I made that pretty clear. I think I made myself pretty clear. Also, how was Spitfire? Says Tikaharia. Oh yeah, I forgot. One more thing, Humber. This sunroof. The Kodiak may have cup holders, but this thing has an overhead window. Boom. Also, this has original German language labels and nameplates. So, you guys have to brush up on your German. Yeah, I haven't even got the Cody update. It was supposed to come out on Senate Update 8. I don't know why the Kodiak hasn't gotten the update yet. They never sent it out. Oh, let's see. There's Martel. There's Alec D in the back with the Twin Otter. I believe Knights is probably below me. Line flashing at advisory warning now seems to work with the patch. Yeah, I'm hoping to come up with a patch pretty soon. Surprised they didn't come out with a patch this early. There's Counts up to my right. Just doing some scene flying here. Oh, we have a first-time chat from Paparazzi. Good to see you, Paparazzi. Nice to have you here. I was watching a video about the development of the KC-10 tanker. Oh yeah, the jet tanker. That's right, the tri-jet tanker. How cool would it be to refuel jets in midair? That would be really cool for Microsoft Flight Sim. I don't think it's likely to happen in Microsoft Flight Sim or Paparazzi. That would be really cool, though. I bet that's in DCS though, the Digital Combat Sim. I were to be a guessing man. But it's going great. Thanks for coming here, Paparazzi. This is leg 13 to 14 of my journey. We took off earlier at out of Harbin. We're going to our first waypoint here in Changchun. Considered by many to be a very important industrial base of northeast China. And then we'll fly from there and land our way into Shenyang, in one of the downtown airports of Shenyang Dongta Airport, which is their old airport in the area there. So that's our plan for today. The scenery here goes, AI is waffling, no real data. Like I said, Nights Up, I think I said this last week, but the thing about China is a lot of the data is kind of censored, because this, I mean, to be fair, China's a communist regime, and historically communist regimes have been pretty sensitive with the data and all that. So I think that's probably the main reason for it. That's just me as a guessing man. Spitfire formation would be fun. Yeah, Spitfire formation would absolutely be pretty fun. Like, some of the guys in the Merc stream, like, with the Spitfire formation is just so impressive. Like, doing formation flying is not easy. It actually is way more difficult than people like to give it credit for. It is not an easy thing at all. Alright, Seamus Menino, Viperstrike, congratulations on the 300 followers. And thanks a lot, Seamus. It's thanks to all the viewers that have been here and the amazing people in the community. They're the ones that I give the credit to. Like, I've done a lot on my streams, but I've done my part in creating content, and I wanted to thank the people who actually got to my stream. It's those people that actually mean a lot. And wait a minute, that's Splasher, isn't it? Splasher's in the sim, he's in the E10, he's in the Electra. Cheeky there, Splasher 6, I see you. I think some aircraft have that feature. Yeah, the DC Designs F-14 has that, I believe. The DC Designs F-14 has that. When on the checkpoint hunter I joined to. The checkpoint spawn in was slow to catch up. Yep. When on the checkpoint in the hunter can I join to? In the flight plan, our closest airport is Zulu Yankee Charlie Charlie. That is the closest. So you can also spawn in on Changchun Airport at Zulu Charlie Hotel Charlie. As well, you could spawn at one of those two airports because that's right next to our checkpoint. And speaking about it, I think it's about time I talk about the city itself we're visiting. The waypoint. Oh, what the heck? There. You have the flight tracker, right? Oh yeah. I forgot to turn on flight events. Hold on one second. So this is Changchun. Now, a lot of people, you know how America is the car capital of America. Well, in China, Changchun is actually the motor city capital of the country. Now, locally, it's the city of automobiles. Changchun is the capital, largest city of the Jilin province. It has a total population under its jurisdiction of 9,066,906 people. The city itself, Changchun, means Long Spring in the Chinese language and is known locally as China's City of Automobiles. In addition to this as well, it's one of the top 40 cities on the planet in terms of scientific research, as tracked by the Nature Index in 2020. It's home to several major universities, most notably Jilin University and Northeast Normal University, members of China's prestigious universities in the Project 211, which supports higher education. The city's history goes all the way back to the Qing Dynasty in the 19th century. It became part of the Chinese Eastern Railway in 1898, constructed by the Russian Empire. As a result of the loss of Russia's loss to this section of the branch, it became the last Russian station in the branch here at Changchun. A pandemic actually happened here in the city between 1910 and 1911, known as the Manchurian Plague, and is one of the worst. It is the worst ever recorded outbreak of the pneumonic plague, and it killed 60,000 people with pneumonia. After the Russo-Japanese War, the city was quickly developed into a major industrial hub throughout much of the early 20th century. And after World War II, as well, after World War II, it became a major hub of the Chinese automotive industry since the 1950s, when they constructed their first automotive works in 1953. And basically, they produce a lot of the trucks, automobiles, buses, and such. When they built the CA-10 truck that is based on the Soviet CIS-50 truck. In 1950, they also produced the famous funky limousines, the red flag limousines, as well, which are very famous cars in all of China. And basically, they make some dirt. So overall, that's Chun. They produced lots of economy. So pretty cool stuff. Now it supports automatic waypoints. Oh yeah, the new. I need to update the tooltip pushbacker. Okay, I'm now on tracker. The Topography manual. Tracker. Okay, there you go. Go, go, go. Yep. Yeah, it's awesome now. Yeah, I like the tooltip thing. I wonder why I never downloaded it earlier. It's such a great little free add-on that fights in TL. So Chain should be ahead of us. So definitely pretty cool. So there's Martel, Alec D, Night Zeph. I don't know if Xian Choco is going to be here. I think he's way up in the bone symbolism. And there's Flasher 6 to my left. But yeah, in this area, we're going to start to see way more industrialization to this area. It opens like a BFR map and you can set waypoints. Yeah. Yeah, I saw a little bit of that. That's pretty cool. Spitfire or the Junkers, Sister Heart? I like both of them. So for me, you'd see me fly more of the Junkers than the Spitfire because I'm more into slower stuff. And the Junkers is just a little easier to fly, but I do like flying the Spit. I'm just saying it's easier to take off and land with the Junkers compared to a Spitfire. And I like to sightsee a little, so that's why I like flying the Junkers. No, don't get me wrong, the Spitfire is excellent. It's alright. So here's Chain Chun. You can see all the mega cities of China. China's full of these really massive cities. And mind you, we're only to the, this is just the outskirts. I mean, just look at all this. Troubleshooting Alaska, seems the payment's gone some airport. Marking's black. That's an interesting thing, dear paparazzi. Dim is loading. No worries, I'm gonna turn on some heavy metal. Go ahead, turn on some heavy metal. I mean, just look at this. Aren't you guys? China's full of a lot of these cities that are really developed so much. And this is really interesting, like I said earlier. Most of China's population lives only in a small portion of land to the east. That's why a lot of the east is extremely urbanized. Probably get 5 FPS, LOL. This is China? Yeah, a lot of this is... Yeah, this is China, K-War. Well, there's not a lot of satellite data or photogrammetry because, like I said, this is the Chinese communists. But, like I said, the reason I'm saying this is detailed, there's a lot of China, is because a lot of the cities in China are like this. Don't mind the hologrammetry buildings, but... what I'm trying to say is a lot of this is very urbanized. I mean, it's hard to believe they can fit 9 million people in these areas right now. We should be turning to our left pretty soon. Yeah, it looks like a completely different sim. It is, but in the last few updates for me, West USA and Canada damaged. Oh, never seen so many buildings. It's huge. Yeah, there's a lot of buildings here. Wait till you get to Beijing and Taiwan, Seamus. Those places are among two of the largest cities in all of China. And you probably see how much urbanization's happening. Hey, Trace EV, good to see you. I'm doing great. Thank you for coming. Thanks for coming along, Trace. We're in leg 13 and 14 of the Berlin-Beijing trip. We took off here at Tempelhof Airport. We took off at the old Tempelhof Airport, and we flew all the way across Moscow. We flew to Novosibirsk, the Baikal, and then we just took off here from Harbin. I mean, this has been a really awesome journey. All of these links I took with the Yonkers G52, and the one who helps me with this journey is Night Zep. He's actually flying with me now. Oh. Night Zeps, there's Splasher 6 in the air in the Electra. Yeah, Night Zep probably to the furthest west. Yeah, Night Zep, Martel, Alec D's playing with me. Oh, Kahara's here now. She's in Spit. Good to have you guys here. So, Trace Evie, I appreciate it. I hope you're having a great day so far. Thank you for coming. So, if you guys like your see, if you haven't followed yet, don't be afraid to smash that follow button. I do have a Discord. And I also have my channel on the other platforms as well. If you're so inclined. But yeah. Now we exit from Changchun. We're gonna fly 83 nautical miles through 220-degree heading. And apparently when they flew here, they said there was rows of different poplar trees and they kept bending to the wind. And as a result, after we went Changchun, we're going to have a strong headwind. Let me readjust the head. And it's going to be... And hey, MSFS app, good to see you, MSFF app. Good to have you follow the channel, I appreciate it. Welcome to the stream, MSFS AFFF. I believe you're the Microsoft Flight Simulator Aerovax Information Flying. Thank you guys so much for coming to the channel. I appreciate it. So we're going to go talk a bit about, I'm going to talk a little bit more about my topic. So we're going to talk about the geography of China. So the next part about the geography of China we're going to talk about. Yes, it is. Yes, it is. Good to have you guys here. So let me go over the next part. Now the rivers of China. Now China's got many kinds of rivers. In fact, China was originally estimated to have 50,000 rivers in China. However, due to statistical discrepancies with the statistics, water and soil loss and climate change, only 22,000 rivers are estimated to be remaining in China. Now, the rivers in China currently have a total length of 420,000 kilometers. 1,500 of these rivers have a catchment area exceeding 1,000 square kilometers, and most of the rivers flow west to east into the Pacific Ocean. Obviously, the most iconic river in all of China. Without question, China's most iconic river is the Yangtze, or the Changjiang River. It flows out in Tibet, and it goes all the way from its basin in Tibet, and it flows all the way east to the Pacific Ocean through Shanghai. It's the third longest river in the world, and it's Asia's longest river. And it's the longest to flow entirely within one country. And its drainage, its discharge volume is 7th in the world, and the basin here comprises 1/5 of the land area of China. And in fact, it's so influential, this river is actually home to nearly 1/3 of the country's 1.4 billion people. Is the Yangtze River. It's pretty insane how important that river is. That river historically has had a lot of floods as well. So that's why they had to dam that's why they had to do the Three Gorges Dam. And that's why it's the largest hydroelectric power station on the planet. The delta is also home to several endemic species and even threatened species, including the Chinese alligator. Yes, China's actually got their own alligator species. Being the Yangtze finless porpoise, which is one of the only known freshwater cetacean species, and its own sturgeon species. It also was home to originally the extinct Yangtze river dolphin, or the Vaj, and the Chinese paddlefish, which were recently been extinct thanks to all the pollution and all that. And that river, and like I said, the Yangtze has been a major part of China for thousands of years. Now, outside of the Shenyang, the next longest river through China is the Honghe, or the Yellow River. Very similar to the Shenyang, it flows from Tibet, but unlike the Shenyang, it actually flows to actually the northeast. The Yellow River is also the 6th longest river system in the world, and it flows through 9 different provinces and empties into the Bohai Sea near the city of Dongying. The basin of the Yellow River was the birthplace of ancient Chinese civilization, and like the Shenyang, it's also known for devastating floods. As well, and finally, the third longest river is the Pearl River in South China, and it's the longest river in all South China as well. But like I said, China's got tons of rivers, and that's why rivers played a huge role in Chinese civilization since the ancient times. Now, when we split to the northern and southern plains of China, there's quite a few discrepancies when I talk about the North and South China plain. For example, in the northern plain of China, there's lots of different riverbeds through here, and China's taken a lot of flood control to prevent all the floodage. And of course, the northern plain itself is also subject to lots of floods and earthquakes. As well. But there is the earthquake stuff. The next thing I want to talk about is going to be the geology, and I'm also going to talk about wildlife. So for the geology stuff, China's geology is quite unique, as China has some of the substantial mineral reserves all throughout China. It currently is the world's largest producer of antimony, natural graphite, tungsten, and zinc. All pretty important industrial materials of China. And of course, they also make minerals like aluminum, bauxite, coal, crude petroleum, yes, oil. I mean, that's where we visited last week, was China's oil-producing city. Diamonds, gold, iron ore, lead, and more. And of course, China's hydropower potential is the largest on the planet as well. Now, China's geography, most of the geology comes from their mineral resources and mining and such as well. And China's largest gold mine region northeast. Like I said, China's got rich mineral resources. And then finally, we got wildlife. I bet you guys like the wildlife part. China's unique in the sense there's actually, it lies in two of the 8 biogeographic wells, the Palearctic and the Indo-Mayan realm of China. Now, in the Palearctic region, animals like horse, camel, and giraffe are found. In the Indo-Malayan region, like leopard, cat, beaver, and species. China is also home to many other species, including 21 species of primates like gibbons, macaques, and more. As well, there's also many different big cat species, including the tiger, leopard, snow leopard, and one of the rarest cats, the clouded leopard, one of the rare big cats. And of course, the snow leopard is extremely rare and endangered. And they usually live in the Himalayas. The tiger is actually so important in Chinese culture, it's one of the 12 animals of the Chinese zodiac, which is based on the lunar calendar. And tiger roads have historically been used in Chinese medicine. In the northeast of China, it's actually the Siberian tiger. And all tiger species have been critically endangered. They also have different leopard species as well, including the extremely rare Amur leopard as well. And there's also the snow leopard too. There's also foxes, but by far internationally the most important species of animal living in China is the famous giant panda. Giant panda is very, very famous in China. The most famous wildlife species in all of China. Now, a bit of facts about these giant pandas. They're unique for being, they're both black and white coats. And even though they're part of the carnivore order of animals, it's actually a folivore. It's actually a herbivore, and they eat leaves. And they also eat bamboo shoots. And bamboo makes up for more than 99% of the diet of a giant panda. So, giant pandas in the wild will occasionally eat other grasses, tubers, and even meat. But most likely, they eat fruits. Historically, these pandas lived in the few mountain ranges in central China, mainly in the Sichuan region. As a result of farming deforestation, the panda has been driven out of the lowlands. But ever since for the last couple of years, they've been increasing the giant panda populations, slowly but surely, and they're now making it from endangered to vulnerable. In fact, the panda is so influential in Chinese culture, especially it's used all throughout cultures. And the panda became one of the most famous species for breeding stuff, because zoos were one of the few areas where they could breed the pandas. Some pretty cool stuff about the giant panda. Definitely very cute. And that's why I brought in the picture of panda cubs. For all you guys say, oh, how cute. I had to do it. Now I'm going to go ahead and take a break here from this, and we'll get to part 3 soon. So that is going to be China's geography. I also talk about its wildlife. China's got a lot of really cool stuff for it. So we still have K-Wart. Oh, K-Wart's with us too. The Harbin and K-Wart are in the Spitz. Fine iron, of course. Paparazzi's in the B2 Islander. I still probably need to get the Islander at some point. There is Flasher in the Electra. Martel in the Arrow. Full cracker. The heart is next. And 97 should be, yeah, 97 right here. I've got quite a few guys here today, and Alec D's here too. Thank you guys so much for coming here today. I really, really appreciate every one of you coming here. So, I've been wondering, we're getting through this pretty quickly. Good to have you here. I see you in the Discord, Trace EV. Thank you for coming. So yeah, it's great to have everyone here. I mean, it's pretty amazing everyone's here for the journey. Yeah, I can't believe this is already going to be the second to last leg. I mean, I thought it would take longer than this. I never thought we would ever get to Russia. I thought being in China. Gar. Man, this is awesome. Caparia, nice flying there with Spit. at that. That's pretty amazing, all you guys here. This is incredible. So many people flying here. Mongo's even here, too. Good to see you, Mongo. This is awesome. Thank you guys so much for being here today. And this is awesome. I love that everyone's coming here today. Nice and peaceful here today. I'm going to this Islander. Yeah, I probably need to get the Islander. That I heard a lot of pretty good things about it. And oh man, Mongo's he's in the P-51 from Airborne Heaven. He doesn't do craziness when you let go of the Yogi chat. Yep. I probably think that'll be the next step. Viperstrike getting the Islander. Basically, the non-turboprop twin off. Crazy all you guys are here. This is fun. Pretty awesome, so many people here. Just go ahead and show the showcase cam so we can just see the scenery and get some great view of everyone. That way all you guys are here in the chat. That's the great thing about the Junkers is it's such a forgiving plane, you don't really need to do much with it. Just sit back and enjoy the flight. And I can chat to all you guys. Definitely very, very cool. Hey, Dougal Matavish, good to see you. I'm doing quite well, Dougal, like I said, I've been doing a lot of the land challenges last night, and now, thanks to my hard work, I'm now lead 4 of the 5, including the one with the 747 in Burr. And this is leg 13 and 14 of the Berlin-Beijing trip. and we're heading our way to Shenyang. We're about, we just passed Changchun a little earlier. We're only 102 nautical miles to the end of our journey today. Yes, this bad boy's got plenty of miles. Once we land to Beijing, I'm gonna have to get some repairs for this thing. Gonna need oil change, prop change, engine tune-up, before I can take this thing back for my normal streams. Here's the Triolander. Very large vertical tail. Yeah. The Triolander is definitely a very interesting plane. You should have sold the package with a Skymaster, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm great to be here, Dougal. I mean, there's a lot of people flying with me today. Nightstep, Alec D, Martel, Hayward, Kaharia, Paparazzi, Mongo, and Splash are all coming with me today. Wow, I think there's little people flying with me today. This is amazing now. Yeah, I don't know what to do after this series is over. Probably taking a bit of a hiatus from the journeys and just focus more on my own bush flights. Maybe for now on, I'll probably do, the bush flights and maybe do the PowerPoints for each bush flight, which I think would be pretty cool. Maybe do something like that. But I still need to read the other Yonkers book first, so that way I can put everything down from the book. But yeah, it's great to have everyone flying with me. That's awesome. I hope the things with your sim is going all right, Dougal. I know you and Story would have sim trouble. I hope things go well. When do you go on vacation? Me? I go on vacation in April. Late April is I'm going to be vacation. I'm going to be in April. I'm going to go visit Cozumel, Costa Maya, and Mahogany Bay. So I'm going to be visiting Mexico and Honduras. My Simmons thinks, oh, that is awesome, Dougal. I'm so happy. Oh, Dougal, I'm so happy for you that you got your sim fixed. I'm so happy. I'm so happy. That's amazing news. Dougal's sim's fixed. That is amazing. Yeah, the folks in this community are amazing. I'm so happy I finally found a community I'm very well. I've never been really the community that I really fit in, and this was finally the community that I think I fit in. So many great people. Oh yeah, the Mayan temples. Yeah, that's gonna be one of the outings. One of the excursions is gonna be visiting one of the Mayan temples. Because I love historical stuff. Oh yeah, you're gonna fly with the shadows. I might be able to join that. Really. I might be able to join the shadows a bit. I wonder if I could take the Yonkers with me on that low and slow flight. I don't think they'll mind historical World War II. Airliner. What sweet? What happened to the Alaska trip? I'm still doing the Alaska trip. That's in September. It's in September, and I'm taking my entire family with me. It's still in September. The Alaska trip, it's going to be like in Skagway, Canada, British Columbia. It's going to feature Juneau. We get to see the glacier and whale watching. Victoria, it's going to be at night, but we'll see at one of the castles. As well, we might see an axe show. So, like I said, that's going to be in September, and we're going to bring my entire family, including my brother-in-law, as well. So it'll be my entire immediate family plus my brother. That's going to be pretty amazing. Yeah, I can't wait to visit all the new locations. That would be cool, but I'm not sure the Junkers can get over the hills. Wait, where are the Shouts flying at today, Google? I mean, the Junkers can go 19,000 feet. We'll be AFK for a few minutes, says Nights Up. No worries, Up. That's the great thing about the Junkers. You can just sit there and just let it fly. But yeah. I think everyone here is flying with me. Oh, there's a hashtag 22. I'll come from there. So, now, I've actually also been working on next week's PowerPoint, and this is going to be the finale, so I will be talking about, about the greater culture of China. That includes literature, music, talk about sports, and mainly the main cuisine topic would be the cuisine of China, because obviously China's world famous for its cuisine. As well. So next week is going to be the final one, and I got a big PowerPoint stuff for it. It's gonna be many slides covering it, so it's gonna be pretty amazing. I still also got the Iditarod route I can still do. I may take a little break from it and do the Iditarod route for this year in the Husky. But like I said, I could still do that. So I don't know what we can do. So that's absolutely stunning. Yeah, the water's really good. I got in the two-tone Murphy Summer in Dublin weather preset, and it looks amazing. Yeah, I really like the new two-tone Murphy weather presets. They look really, really good. Actually, here's something I'm planning on doing. One more thing. My next big thing is a grand tour of Italy, including the islands, Alps, and coastline. Oh, that's going to be awesome. Yeah, Italy's really beautiful. And despite it being one of the European countries, it's actually got one of the few photogrammetry cities already. Rome, Florence, Milan. Yeah, Italy would be really cool. I might have to go back to Italy at some point on one of my streams. I know I visited the Alps. I need to visit some of the other places in Italy. tonight's Lowen's okay. Tonight's is Swiss Alps. Thanks, Dougal. Thanks. Yeah, the Junker should have no issue with those hills. I mean, thanks, Dougal. Yeah, the Junker should have no problem getting on those hills. After all, in real life, they flew the Junkers over the Alps. In fact, some of their flights had to fly over the Alps. Yeah, most would be in the next Cub, and then you see Viperstrike carrying the Junkers. Yeah, if you're looking forward to have you along, Special 6. Yeah, that would be awesome. I'll definitely go with the Shadows tonight. Yeah, like I said, they fly, like I said, historically they flew to the Alps in the Junkers, so this should be no, the Junkers have no issue. Yeah, the Swiss Alps are absolutely beautiful. Flasher 6. The Swiss Alps are amazing. I wonder, I flew around, especially flew around the Matterhorn and all that. It looks amazing. Quite a few of the low bendy twisty. Yep. I mean, that would be a great challenge for the Junkers, though. Yeah, this is going to be really, really cool. So I'm going to go ahead and talk about the second part, the final part of my topic. So let's talk about the human geography of China. Let's go ahead and talk about that. So the human geography of China, China's history geographically has a very unique history, and it's often explained in several central strategic areas, and most of them are defined by the topographic limits of China. First, let's start with the Central Chinese Plain, which is the part of the Chinese population, the Han, the main ethnic group in China. The Han started with the Central Chinese Plain. They expanded militarily, then demographically toward the Luas Plateau, the Sichuan Basin, and the Southern Hills. But not without resistance from the local population, and then pushed by its higher demographic growth, they continued to expand by military and demographic waves, including the far south of present-day China and the Tarim Basin, were first reached and subdued by the Han Dynasty. The northern steppes were always the source of invasions of China, mainly by Mongolia in the 13th century, and created the Mongolian Yuan Dynasty, and finally Manchuria. Much of today's northeastern China and Korean Peninsula were usually not under Chinese control, but Manchuria became integrated into China during the Qing Dynasty. So the demographic geography of China is actually unique, and again, like I said, with the history. A lot of China's occupation demographically is based on the arability of those lands, and most of those arable lands live on the right side of the Heihai-Tianshan line, which runs from Heihai and Heilongjiang to the northeast to Tianshan County, Yunnan in the southwest. And it divides China into roughly 2 equal sections in terms of geographic area. And you can see on the demographic chart on your right, see how most of the Chinese population lives on the right side? And that's because that's where most of the arable land is located. Most of that land is located in that region of China. Which is pretty crazy to think most of China's population lives on this sector, whereas this sector, not many people live in. China has 5 main religions in the state, major religions, even though officially it's state atheism is the main one, but Buddhism, Taoism, Protestantism, Catholicism, and Islam all make up the popular major religions, but atheism is the most well known as well. So definitely pretty interesting as well. That's pretty crazy to think about if you ever look at the map the way I do. Next, we talk about China's borders. After all, China's bordered by over 14 different countries. And it's been a whole land of many different ethnic groups and racial groups in the country, but mainly it's in relation toward the Han, because the Hans have the largest population and the most political influence. The Han Chinese population, the territories defined by the regions of Tibet, Inner Mongolia, Manchuria, and the Shenyang province as well. But there's been some territorial disputes, mainly the Tibetans and the Taiwanese have very different disputes with the current borders of China, and that's been pretty big geopolitical issues for decades. Now, in terms of actual borders, Central Asia, China's borders have almost 12,000 miles of land frontier shared by the mainland East Asian countries. For example, in the western sector, China claimed nearly 16,000 square miles of the Pamir Mountain, where the borders of Afghanistan, Pakistan, the former USSR, and China meet in Central Asia. I mean, it's bordered by lots of countries. North Korea, Russia, Mongolia, you could say Taiwan, Vietnam, Laos, Myanmar, India, Nepal, Bhutan, Kazakhstan, Tajikistan, Afghanistan, Pakistan, lots of countries border China. Pretty crazy. They also have a northern border with Mongolia, well, and Russia, obviously. Russia, especially, the most powerful country on that border. In the south, China still has claims over the McMahon line. But in most recent years, they try to settle the dispute in the 1980s. And of course, you can forget one of the most recent complex issues, the sea borders, with Malaysia, the Philippines, Vietnam, and perhaps Brunei over the Spratly Islands. That's been a hotly discussed topic in the area. As well. So there is the border. And finally we talk about the climate of China. China's climate. So the climate in China is, like Russia, is quite diverse, but I think even more so in China, considering the fact China's got extremely diverse conditions, from tropical in the south, subarctic to the far north, and alpine to the Tibetan Plateau. And as a result, monsoon winds is there. You can find monsoon winds near the ocean. As a result, China's climate is extremely diverse. For example, the northern extremities have a subarctic climate, which means you have extremely cold winters. But in the south, for example, the Hainan Island, it's very tropical. You can actually see a tropical weather. Meaning the far north of China can get extremely cold. Like northeast by Russia can get extremely cold. In fact, it wouldn't be surprising that the average temperature would be almost negative 22 degrees Fahrenheit. Whereas Hainan's temperature is around 60 degrees Fahrenheit in the winter as well. Precipitation is almost concentrated in the warmer months, though annual ranges range from less than 20 millimeters in Jiangxing, which is all desert, to nearly exceeding 2,000 millimeters or 79 inches a year in Guangxi and Hainan. Though, like I said, very diverse weather and very diverse conditions. Definitely making China very unique in terms of climate, even more so than Russia is. And Russia's already a very diverse climate. I'm back, says Nightsap. Does anyone know where to get the new racing green trim blades on the tires for the Kodiak? I think you get it for Flights MTO. I believe, like most NSF stuff, I think it's on Flights MTO. But I might be wrong. Definitely a very, very nice flight. Yeah, Sponsor 6 got the link. Yeah, that livery looked really nice in the racing green. Definitely very British, if you ask me. Let's see who's still flying with me. There's Kahari K-Ward, I bet they're in formation. There's the B2 Islander from Paparazzi. Count Zep, Martel, Alec D, it's Flasher 6. And K-Ward's actually further ahead. This is pretty awesome, guys. I really appreciate it. Can't believe there's so many people flying along with me today. I haven't had this many people flying with me in a long time. I'm always AFK for communities since my nom 94 express your daily phone call at this time. No worries. I actually completely understand that. I can't believe she's lived for that long. I mean, not many people live to 94. That's pretty amazing, Nightsep. I hope she's doing all right. I'm hoping she's doing all right at home. And I hope she remains safe. She's mainly physically a bit wobbly. Yep, as long as she's safe and she's doing fine, that's what matters. Going a little faster, that's all. I feel like going to 130. So I wonder who I think we can do. We're about nearly there. In fact, we're pretty close actually. We're 41 nautical miles away from Shenyang. It's pretty impressive. Now we'll go ahead and talk about the final thing on my slideshow for today. Shenyang. Now, Shenyang is one of the largest cities in all of northeast China. Shenyang is known for quite a few things as well. It is the major. It's also known for its Manchu name of Mukden, or in the Mandarin frequency as Fengtian. It is the major sub-provincial city and provincial capital of the Liaoning province. It is the most populous city in that province with a total population of 9,070,093 people as of the 2020 census. It's also the largest city in northeastern China by urban population, and this is one of the central city of one of the major megalopolises in all of China. As the greater Shenyang metropolitan area has a total population of over 23 million people. And the thing is, it's not even the largest of all those mega cities. There are actually bigger mega cities than Shenyang. There's lots of megapolis. The largest megapolis in all of China is the Yangtze River Delta metropolis, and that one has a population of 150 million people. It's insane how many people actually live in China. In such a small area, too. Rats, duty calls, have a great flight. Thank you so much, Paparazzi, for coming to the flight today. Thanks so much for coming with me. But Shenyang is now, the history of Shenyang goes back to the 17th century with the modern history of it comes from the capital of the Manchus, which were a tribe that eventually conquered China under the Qing dynasty in 1625. But it became under the influence of the Russians since the Sino-Japanese War in the Russo-Japanese War in 1904. And it became the site of the Battle of Mukden from February 19th to March 10th, 1905. It was the largest battle, this is the Battle of Leipzig during the Napoleonic Wars. It was the largest modern-era battle ever fought before World War II. And the Japanese victory helped shift its presence here in Manchuria. After World War II, Shenyang grew its industrial might and became one of the most important industrial cities in all of modern China. Shenyang is known as an important industrial center of all China and serves as the transportation and commercial hub of China's northeast, particularly linked with Japan, Russia, and India. And of course, it's also been a center of heavy industry as well, and the spearhead of the Chinese central government's northeast area revitalization plan. And it's been developing its industries for software, automotive, and electronics. It's also a very important city for the sciences. And they built all sorts of things. Roads, airports. The East Pagoda Airport is the oldest, but has been retired since the 80s. Definitely some really cool stuff. Well, and one of the most famous places you can find here is the Mukden Palace, which is the Shenyang, which is the former imperial palace of the early Qing dynasty. That was built during the 1625. It was also rebuilt in 1631, and the last built was in 1780. And it became a World Heritage Site in 2004 as an extension of one of the imperial palaces as well. And that was built by 3 different structures. You can definitely see some of the old palaces up there. And I actually have a link in my Discord. I have a thing called flight locations, and I usually put the areas we're flying to. So, and I have a picture of Shenyang as well. And you can actually check out the locations, and you can find the locations we're going to be flying. And I like to do that every single Wednesday, showing you where we're going to fly, and you get video learning a little bit about the location we're flying in. Pretty cool stuff. So, that's going to be it for the slideshow. That's the slideshow, guys. The airport we're landing to is now we're visiting Dongta Airport. That was the former airport in Shenyang. And that airport used to serve from Mongolia and Japan all the way to the 1980s. So they had to build the international airport. And that international airport flies to all over the place. It flies not just in China, but it's flown for both North and South Korea. It's flown, the Hansa's even flown there from Frankfurt. So it's flying for all sorts of things as well. So yeah, that concludes this week's slideshow. Now we're going to get on our way to our destination. So yeah, we're almost there, everyone. This is gonna be pretty cool. We're only 24 nautical miles away. We're gonna land straight in at runway 24. We're just gonna land straight in. And that is going to complete leg 13, guys. I mean, we're almost done with the journey. I am so excited for it. Just stretch and enjoy myself. I'm gonna have a nice, relaxing, yeah, lucky leg 13. Luckily the leg for this one was a good one. I'm kind of glad they didn't fly in the fog. I think I know who we should probably raid though. If he's still available, we might be able to raid Captain Arash. I haven't raided Arash's channel, so that would be a good target for today. Apparently he's flying the FA-18 today, so this would be pretty good. I have to reconsider my setup. It's not very convenient for me to use both this and Twitch. Yeah, I can probably understand. I used two PCs and 3 screens and couldn't imagine using them last. LOL. My second monitor is a 1080-24, which is not good for Twitch. Yeah. Likewise here. Yeah, that sounds like likewise here. I use the laptop and a monitor. That's what I use. I'm not rich. According to Nos, we're in the same latitude as Rome. Oh yeah, I think that's what you mentioned. So day 11, we reach here at Mukden, the old capital of Manchuria. Origin of the Manchu dynasty of the Chinese emperors, the last royal dynasty. If you ever were there and read my history. Now, best known for the events that took place after a few years of the flight, which was the Mukden incident, or the September 18th incident, which led to the Japanese invasion of Manchuria. The weather's tropical here, and they're the same latitude as Rome, all the way to Italy. As usual, they're created by local dignitaries and businessmen. And over there, he said that when we landed, we remarked at the number of Japanese who built their own quarter in London. See the incident. And Chinese ladies in pants of black silk, short jackets, and brightly long nails. And obviously, Zeb picked ZYYY, even though it's closed to the public, but it's the oldest airport here. So it would be the most likely place, and you would probably be right. So there is Shenyang, a big mega city. The metropolitan city here is big, but not the biggest. Like I said, China's full of these megapolis. I'm going to go ahead and start my descent a little bit. Only going to reset the trim a little so I can descend a little. Start a steady little descent. Welcome to Shenyang, China. On the banks of the Hunhe River, the Han River. So, the Han River in China basically now, this Han River, which is part of the tributary of the Lao River, is the major river for one of its most important cities of Shenyang. Wow. And it means the Money River, due to its fast flow speed and the high amount of sediment loaded into the soil. Alright, put the flaps. Now, guys, let's get your predictions. We're going to finally land. You guys would know how good my landing would be. I picked my -9.5. So I'm going to finally make our landing here in Shenyang. We will complete the journey for leg number 13. This is pretty impressive. Guys, I mean, what a journey this is going to be. I can't wait for next week being the final leg of the trip. And that one's going to be a decently long one, too. I mean, the next leg of the trip is going to be pretty long. That one's going to be 401 nautical miles, which is going to be a pretty decent journey. This one is going to be good. Usually I'm going to be good. I hope I'd be good with these landings. Then again, I'm really good at doing those landing challenges, so I should probably know how to land the Yonkers. So, I mean, just look at how big this city is. Like, there's so many buildings here. It's ridiculous. Like, I know this is all autogen, but I mean, it just shows you the scale of a lot of the cities in China are going to be. They're going to be some huge cities. Because I remember after World War I flew in Tokyo, just how massive Tokyo actually is. And there's our airport here. We're going to go ahead and bank right. I'm going to go ahead and put my second stage of flap to lower the power. I'm going to use that to bleed off my speed, so we can bleed off the speed for landing. Okay, final stage of flaps. Gonna lower the power. Gonna turn back to idle. Let this thing glide into the runway. Because the Junkers is a pretty easy plane just to glide in. .78 knots. Just in a decent glide. Mind you, I am landing with a headwind, so do keep that in mind. Then to bleed off speed. Lead it off. Lead it off. Oh, that was a great landing. Yeah, and that's why I've been nailing those land challenges. I think there's a reason for that. Move. Negative 66 feet per minute. That's smooth. I did have to bleed off a little speed, but I mean, I had to bleed it off a little. So let's see if the rest of you guys actually attempt to land here. Yeah, you can definitely see all the buildings lying around. It's not going to make it pretty easy, especially when you have all those buildings lying around. That's not going to be an easy landing. So who would tip the landing? Number one is my good friend Kaharia. HJ. Good job, thank you. Here's Kaharia's Spit. Spit's easier to land than take off, apparently. Now, nicely done, Kaharia, on the Spitfire. Nicely done. And oh, counts up our landing. He landed on the opposite side. Interesting. Nicely done, Kaharia. Nicely done. Let's see who'll be next. Splasher 6 in the Electra. I don't have the Electra. And Splasher. Careful, Splasher. Oh, okay, you. Here. Splasher 6 is down. In the Electra. And, oh, there's Alec D, the Twin Otter. Nicely done in the Twin Otter. And there's Martel. That is, I believe, everyone except for K Ward. K-Ward, did you not crash into one of the buildings, K-Ward? I landed behind you, but took the whole runway to stop. Oh, dear. And K-Ward's somewhere in one of the buildings, apparently. Oh, poor K-Ward. Someone needs to get a medic for K-Ward. He crashed into the building. Medic. But seriously, guys, this has been amazing. Thank you guys so much. Seriously, thank you everyone here today. The chat was fantastic today. Everyone did an amazing job flying today. So many amazing people flew with me today. I want to thank Bartel, Kaharia, K-Ward, Splasher6, Bartel, Count Zepp, and Alec D for flying with me today. I'm going to get everyone here. Welcome, guys, to Shenyang, one of the industrial hubs of northeastern China. And, guys, this is flight 13 of 14. We are nearly done with the trip. Guys, this is awesome. Seriously, I really want to thank everyone. So, next Wednesday, everyone, I'm planning on doing a trip somewhere in Asia, probably in the Himalayas with Nepal and Bhutan. Probably doing some fun in Bhutan and Nepal. So, I really appreciate everyone here. I think we probably know who we're going to raid. We're going to raid Captain Arash. I haven't raided him in a long time, actually. So we're going to go ahead and do it, and then next Sunday, we are going to complete the journey. Finally landing in Beijing. In fact, maybe after we land in Beijing, we might do a quick little tour around the city. Maybe. But this has been amazing, guys. Seriously, everyone's been amazing today. For the new follows, the new people in chat. Seriously, guys, thank you so much. I hope I see you again next Wednesday. Viperstrike 95 is out. Take care, everyone, and stick around for the raid.